Count down nicely. He always goes 5, 3, 1.
The bottom line is he was rich and he was young. And he was a ruler, he was an influential person in the society.
Welcome to Energ-Aid, a program for young people just like you and I.
As growing up as a refugee and being able to go to school and being a doctor, you know, it was...
Wow.
Yeah, I suppose. How do you learn more about him if you don't doubt?
You don't doubt. Wow.
By the way, you can't even trust God if you don't doubt. Do you know that?
Welcome to Energ-Aid, a program for young people just like you and I. My name is Adela Chokoto, and in studio today I have Mrs. or Shepherdess Catherine Thangalimodzi, and we'll be talking about anger management. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, anger management is a very broad thing. We could actually do a number of series just on this particular topic, but we'll try our best to condense it into this one episode. So to begin with, where does anger actually stem from? I mean, someone can come up to you, you know, if you put 3 people in a room and someone says something, one person might get angry to that particular response, while the other person might not. So where does anger actually stem from?
It stems from different experiences that we encounter as we are growing up or at different stages of our lives. And it could be from your childhood experience, how you were raised by your parents or the first primary caregivers, what we call them, or guardians. In schools, maybe from friends. How were your situation at that particular time? And especially anger is attached to meaning. What do those words mean to you? As you have said in your example, it be 3 people in a room. The other one will get angry and the others will be surprised, say, hey, what has happened? What makes her so angry like that? It is actually what the interpretation of the word or something that has happened means to this particular individual. So anger stems from different backgrounds, experiences, childhood background, and other experiences, or unmet needs. You have your needs that there was something that you really wanted to happen and then it didn't happen. It's so easy for someone to get angry because you have unmet needs.
And you're a psychotherapist, and this is one of the things that you do. You look at anger management.
Yes.
So can you explain just briefly what this program is actually?
In anger management, as I've said, first we look at what makes the person angry most. Because if somebody comes to me to say they have an anger issue, the first thing as a psychotherapist, I'll be glad because somebody is aware of what is happening. So the first step is already taken. If somebody comes and say, I'm an angry person, I do 1, 2, 3, and the first thing that goes in my mind is like, wow, the awareness has already happened. So in managing the anger, the first step is the awareness. So we look at how does the person respond to situations, and we look at the pattern, the thoughts pattern, the cognitive way to say what is it that comes in the mind, how does the mind interpret the situation, the event that has happened. So as the example that you use, that maybe in a room somebody just said a joke or something and you find somebody is angry. So we will look at the specific examples to say, okay, this happened to you. So what made you angry? The issue is what interpretation did you had with you. So in the program, in the anger management, we look in such we look into details of such meaning, because with anger, what we see on the surface is the emotion of anger, but underneath there are other deep emotions. We call anger as a secondary emotion, because the primary emotion could be, that's where we look at the meaning now. It could be the person is hurt, could be the person felt rejected at some point, could be the person feels unwanted, and all those things. So what comes is when you are angry, the anger comes in as an emotion. That's why somebody will get angry, someone will not get angry in the same words or maybe the same situation. The other one will be surprised because the other person, the words didn't mean anything, but the other person, the words meant something to her. I can give you an example. Like when I was growing up myself, I'm tall, and growing up I was a lean girl, you know, tall and very skinny. So my legs would show that I'm a tall person. Mostly people would be commenting about my legs. Oh, you are tall. Oh, you are this. And I remember there was a particular time I was in a I think standard 5 or so, we call it grade 5. And there was this other lady who was commenting the way I look. And that one, okay, went. But later on, growing up, even if I grew up, if somebody would comment about me being tall and slim, I used to get angry and irritated because the primary reason was that time I was feeling like I'm an unwanted person, like I'm insignificant. My self-esteem was damaged. So the anger response to me, the secondary emotion to me was like, okay, I'm not likable. People don't like me because I'm tall and this. What does that mean? It meant I'm an ugly person because I'm tall. So the meaning was I would associate being tall, lean or skinny with ugliness, because nobody would comment, oh, look at how tall you are, you're so beautiful, you're this. No, the comment would be like, it wouldn't be like that. The comment would be like, you are so tall, as if it was your own fault. So the meaning, how you attach it to the specific incident is what matters. So when we say anger, it is a secondary emotion, meaning there's a primary reason that maybe hurt the person most, maybe that the person associate most what happened. So in the counseling setting, we look into that to say, what is it that we can find out? What is it that is making the person go to the extent of going to beat somebody else or to go maybe self-destructive behaviors? What is the meaning that the person is holding?
Wow. And you know, it's funny because, you know, like what you have mentioned, that it started from when you were younger, and at the time it wasn't, you know, like you said, it wasn't really a big deal until much later. You know, and I feel like that's something that we also need to understand, that sometimes we cause people to be angry, and then we talk about them without acknowledging the fact that they may actually be hurt inside, or there may be other factors that are contributing to this anger. Now we'll just like to digress a bit. What does the Bible actually say about anger?
The Bible, funny enough, recognizes anger. The Bible doesn't say anger is a sin. The Bible acknowledges it, or I should say validates it, but does not condone bad behavior out of anger, does not condone abusive behaviors out of anger. What the Bible says, like in Ephesians 4 verse 26, it says, be angry, but do not sin in your anger. Do not go to bed. I'm just paraphrasing the verse. Do not go to bed while angry. What that verse means, if I go biblically, there are two things that I talked about. It's how you handle yourself when you are angry. It means you will get angry at some point, but make sure that behind that verse, if you go further, it has a meaning to say, forgive before you go to bed. Do not hold grudges against one another. If you are angry, make sure you sort out your issues before going to bed. Do not sin with that. So the Bible is acknowledging anger. And even when we read Proverbs 15 verse 1, I also paraphrase, it talks about a soft answer. When somebody is angry, he said a soft answer turns away wrath. But harsh words will increase, you know, it will cause distraction. I'm also paraphrasing the verse. What does that say? It says, yes, we get angry, but it does not condone my toxic behavior towards other people. It's not an excuse to say, oh, I slapped her because I was angry. By the way, we say nobody makes you angry.
Wow, okay.
Nobody makes you angry. You choose to be angry. That statement, it's quite controversial, because we say, yeah, she made me angry. That's what we like to say, blaming. She made me angry. Oh, this woman, oh, this child, hey, she made me angry. This, so I did this to her. It's like, okay, I'm justified what I did because she did this. But what happens when you are angry actually is you choose. What I was talking about, the interpretation, your thoughts and everything. You choose to get angry in a situation. You can either look at the situation in different ways to say, you know what, I think she's got her own problems. I'll let her go. She's not going to destroy me to have a good day because of ABCD. I'll be fine. But we choose how we respond to that. It's what matters. So the Bible is acknowledging that we do get angry. We are humans after all. If somebody triggers something to me that would make me angry, as we've said, it's the interpretation and everything that comes in. I've chosen to be angry. Maybe not because voluntarily I've sat down to say, now I'm going to get angry with you. But these are the things that are just happening automatically. We have a willpower, of course, to change those things. But sometimes it's because in between anger, there's something, the step between this anger going towards to getting really angry. There's what we call the moment of madness. All right, the moment of madness, mad is an emotion. What you say, oh, you are mad. It's like you are confused, you don't know what to do. It's like there's a lot of things that are entangled together. So in that moment of madness, some people, they react to different situations. That's why we say, if we go to prison today and ask people, some of them will tell you, I didn't think properly. I just, you know, I just did it. I didn't know. If I had about 10 minutes to think about it, I wouldn't have done that. Why? The irrational being moved away a little bit and you just started reacting in a different way. Yeah.
And so when we come to then anger management, yes, you've talked about meaning a lot. Now, I'd just like to know that, of course, yes, we do have a choice, but, you know, even the Bible says that, you know, it's okay to get angry. So in those moments of anger, what can we do besides maybe choosing? Because I think sometimes it happens so quickly, especially if you're ranting about with a friend, you know, someone says something and you just quickly respond. And then anger just begins to build up and you just exchange words. So when we recognize that we are feeling angry, what can we do?
I think the first thing is to be aware of how you get angry. Every person should have self-assessment. How do I get angry? How do I respond when I am angry? Other people, you know, there are several ways how we deal with anger, how we respond to anger. Others will suppress it. But in that heat of moment when things are not okay, it is good to walk away. You may look silly, you may look like you're a loser, but in the end, you're controlling yourself. You're giving yourself time to say, this is about me. Let me go heal myself, not her. So you are detaching yourself from the situation for your own good, to say, the way I am at the moment and what I'm feeling at the moment, I'd rather be in my bedroom, lock the door, maybe listen to music. One way is to listen to music as well. You're trying to diffuse everything. There's also relaxation techniques. You can take deep breath if you feel like you can respond. Because when we are angry, there are also body chemicals, reactions, things that are happening around the body that we are not seeing. You know, the heart is beating so fast, you feel like you're shaking, feel like I'll grab this person and tear them apart. You know, the body is just like, okay, you can do it. But it's good to do deep breath. Take deep breath. Some people say, they say count 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. Walk away. What you're doing is you're putting your body chemicals to stabilize them. Walk away. Maybe after some time, when things are okay, that's when you can come back and sit down. Okay, let's talk about what happened earlier. Let's look at the situation. I really want to apologize. Maybe I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. You're taking responsibility of your own actions, not of somebody's actions. That is what we can do. And I talked a bit of relaxation techniques. Listening to music helps. You know, there are people that really hate music. But I find music very soothing. Any type of music that I listen to, apart from maybe rap music, but I find you know, music consoles me. In almost every mood, there's a song that will attach the mood that you have. If you can manage, put your earphones, whatever it is, listen to music, you find that maybe it's different house. But again, there's also this other side of anger. You can be productive. You can turn your anger into something productive. Channel that energy into something productive. Instead of being destructive, beating up people, doing other things, you can say, I think I talk a little when I'm angry. What if I wash clothes? You know, you can pick up clothes, do general cleaning and other stuff. That is something productive. So anger can also be very productive other than being destructive.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We'll be right back after the song.
My soul is now thrilling with joy is feeling when I think of what's over life's sea. The angels are waiting, they're now congregating beyond this sunset for me. My soul is now thrilling with joyous feeling when I think of what's over life's sea. The angels are waiting, they're now congregating beyond the sunset for me. Over the sunset in that better home, these angels are waiting to carry me home. In heaven with Jesus I'll be. Cares of this life we love vanish away. Jesus will shine as the light of the day. Beyond the sunset for me. Such comfort in knowing that I'll soon be going where my soul shall forever be free. I see Jesus standing on the shore by the landing, beyond the sunset for me. Beyond the sunset in that better home, angels are waiting to carry me home. In heaven with Jesus I'll be. Cares of this life we love vanish away. Jesus will shine as the light of the day. Beyond the sunset for me. Beyond the sunset for me. Beyond the sunset for me.
Welcome back. Before the song, we were talking about anger management, and we talked a lot about meaning behind anger, where anger actually stems from. And we also started to talk about anger management, and my guest today, Catherine Thangalimodzi, talked about destructive anger, but also productive anger. Now, we want to talk about productive anger because we do know about destructive. People throw tantrums, they beat people, they scream and do all sorts of crazy things. So what is actually productive anger?
Okay, productive anger, I can use examples to explain it. Is okay, for example, let me use the example of you've heard maybe some people that were sexual abused when they were young, people that even grew up in abusive homes, even mothers, okay, or people who have lost loved ones maybe through terrible diseases such as cancer. You've heard people having foundations or forming NGOs because of that. What happens is when those things happen, you do get angry. Maybe you ask for meaning of life. What does it mean? We loved the person. You get angry. Okay, with someone is sexual abuse and all those things. There are people that will say, I will never do this because men are bad, the world is bad, it's not fair, that they'll just shut themselves in and leave. Nobody will know anything about it. But there are others, they'll come out to open and say, this happened to me. Therefore, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to make sure that we have a foundation that is going to protect girls, that is going to do this. They'll put so many objectives. That is a productive anger. Out of something that really degraded them, out of something that really made them angry, made them feel so insignificant or anything else, but they'll do channel that anger into something productive, which in turn helps other people. If you ask them, they'll tell you, you know what, I saw my mother dying, and then I decided, no ways, I'll never let any mother die like that. I'm going to be a nurse. That's why I started nursing. They channeled that anger, the whole process, into something productive. So instead of just being known for somebody who is very destructive, beating people, doing this, you can actually start a club, teaching little kids karate, or teaching people how to express themselves. When we are angry, we can have punch bags, we can do this. All those things, you are turning it into something productive. Even in the world today, people are turning waste products into, waste into maybe electricity, generating energy or things like that. Instead of just throwing it into the sea, they're turning that into something productive. So it's the same thing, seeing positives in something that has been very worse. Even a father can say, you know what, I've been very abusive to my family, but I think it's no. from today on, I'll protect my daughter. I'll never let any man harm my daughter the way I did to my wife. Protect the family. It's something because you've been healed, and you're looking into that and turning that into something very productive. So that is productive anger.
Yeah. And so definitely there's need for a level of self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-awareness in any situation, especially in anger, is very important. A lot of people who are struggling with anger issues, it's because they're in denial. They'll tell you, no, I'm not an angry person. I didn't do this, I didn't mean to do this. It was your fault who made me to do this. They do a lot of self-blame. There's no responsibility about them, how they contributed in the situation. It's always about other people doing something bad to them, but they don't see their actions, what happened. Because even if I'm angry, it does not justify me being abusive towards you. But you find people that are struggling with anger and aggressiveness, they will tend to say, you know what, if you didn't do this, if you didn't talk like this, I wasn't supposed to do that. Unfortunately, there are young girls, young boys who are in abusive relationships, even if they're not married yet. They get slapped by the boyfriend, and what do? Oh, it was my fault, I wish I didn't say that. You are condoning something, taking responsibility over somebody who should have taken that responsibility. There's no excuse to someone being in such situation with somebody you're not married to. Even if you are married, it's not supposed to be like that. So people who say, this, that, it's because they don't see anything wrong with them. There's lack of self-awareness. To them, it's like, no, I'm okay. You are the one who did this, I did this. They are always in a defensive mechanism. They use defensive mechanism negatively. You dare say this, I'll do this. You dare do this. They're always protecting themselves. And we need to look to say, what are they protecting themselves to? Again, we'll go to the meaning. What does it mean? I was hurt when I was young. I was hurt. I was this, I was that. So this time I don't allow anybody else to hurt me, else I'm the one who's going to hurt them. So they turn that, instead of seeking help, they start hurting other people in order to protect themselves.
Because hurt people hurt people.
Of course. Hurt people. For me, what I'm going to do, I was hurt, and I'm not going to allow this happen to me. I'll hurt you first before you come to me. So it's just a cycle that is going on, unless they have self-awareness and break that cycle.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
That was Catherine Thangalimodzi on anger management. You're with me, your host Adela Chakota, today on Energ-Aid. I really hope that this program has blessed you and that you have been changed, but also taught, and you have found new ways on how you can manage your own anger, or maybe even help a friend. Remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
My soul is now thrilling with joy is feeling when I think of what's over life see. The angels are waiting, they're now congregating beyond this sunset for me. My soul is now thrilling with joy is feeling when I think of what's over life see. The angels are waiting, they're now congregating beyond this sunset for me. Over the sunset in that better home, these angels are waiting to carry me home. In heaven with Jesus I'll be. Cares of this life we love vanish away. This Jesus will shine as the light of the day. Beyond this sunset for me. Such comfort in knowing that I'll soon be going where my soul shall forever be free. I see Jesus standing on the shore by the landing, beyond the sunset for me. Over the sunset in that better home, these angels are waiting to carry me home. In heaven with Jesus I'll be. cares of this life will all vanish away. Jesus will shine as the light of the day beyond the sunset for me. Beyond the sunset for me. Beyond the sunset for me.